So how to come out of addiction? This is the right approach that one has to take. How one can come out of this so-called addictions, addiction to any kind of craving which makes a person obsessed with a desire, and when this desire is not fulfilled, then an anger is generated, and out of this anger he can commit a serious evil or serious offense. So when it comes to following a life of precepts or to lead a life of precepts, the training of mind also becomes very important. Because according to the teachings of the Buddha, as explained in the Dhammapada, Buddha says that mind is the forerunner of all things. Mind is the foremost. Mind-made are we. For any act that is done through body or speech, one has to first think about it. A thought has to arise in. For example, if one wants to kill, he won't commit this crime just like that. A thought of killing has to arise in his mind. He has to plan it, and then only he will execute it. Similarly, when it comes to stealing, a thought of stealing has to arise. He has to plan it, and then he will execute it. Thus we find that all the evils have the root in their thinking, in their mind, and therefore this correction has to be done at the mental level or at the thought level. And it is here that meditation becomes very important, because it is through meditation that we train a person to develop positive thoughts and to eliminate the negative thoughts. Without replacing or eliminating these negative thoughts, or in other words, without generating the positive thoughts in a person, we cannot bring about a positive personality. And it is here that in modern world we find that right from the childhood to the youth, they are exposed to all sorts of negativities through media, newspaper, movies, you name it, and everywhere you find the negativities, lust, hatred, and delusion. So an individual or a society which is constantly exposed and bombarded with these negativities of lust, greed, hatred, anger, delusion, we cannot expect a positive being from such an exposure. So at the physical level, yes, we have to avoid all the negativities. At the same time, we have to train our mind to avoid all these negativities and replace these very negative thoughts with the positive thoughts. And this is where meditation becomes of much importance. One who trains one's mind, he is capable of managing himself. Thus, it is by managing or by rectifying an individual, we can rectify a society. Society in itself does not exist. It is the individuals who exist. Individuals put together, we term it as society. Thus, people who are talking to change the society without changing the individual, they are just wasting their time and energy. But who are concentrating on the change in an individual, they in the long run are able to change the society. And this is where the Buddha's teachings are of much help. of much guidance to this modern world, which is fettered by so many negativities all around, and who are struggling a lot to gain peace of mind and happiness. Peace and happiness is not something which can be bought from outside. It has to be generated within and not without. And all this starts with the proper understanding of the noble truths, that is, the understanding of the suffering, the cause of suffering, and the cessation of suffering. And for that, one has to walk on the path of cessation of suffering. Suffering everyone understands, but it is very rarely that people try to understand the cause of suffering. Even people who understand the cause of suffering, they rarely know how to eliminate these very cause of suffering, because it requires a kind of training, a skillful training. And this skillful training is shown by Buddha, and this skillful training or path is known as the Noble Eightfold Path. This very Noble Eightfold Path is covered in 3 sections, namely Sila, that is morality, meditation, or in Pali we call Samadhi, and then Panya, or which is known as wisdom. This 3-step training is a must for a person who is really seeking for a peace and happiness. And the first step is morality. Thus, it has been said that Buddha, the guide to humanity, taught Dhamma to experience reality. He said not to be obsessed with materiality, but to practice the path of spirituality. And this path, he said, is none other than the path of wisdom, meditation, and morality. Whoever walks on this path is bound to make the end of suffering. This is the one and the only path, that is the path of wisdom, meditation, and morality.